Greetings, this is Smo Love True. It is January 29th, 2021, and it is 3:01 in the afternoon. Um, First of all, I wanted to announce that this is my last video upload here on the YouTube channel, but I did want to give some updates, very similar to what I had given or reported when I was in Switzerland. So, I don't have a bank account, and so I haven't been able to print documents at the US UPS store because they only process their services for those who happen to have a credit card or can do an online payment. Okay, so let's see. So I'm not able to go through the commercial means through an entity like UPS, but their competitor, FedEx Office, I'm able to go through, bring some cash in, and put it on their card and take the card and put it in their machine and either do printing from my USB external drive and make copies. So the interesting thing about FedEx Office is that it prohibits, I should say, I overheard the workers speaking among themselves behind the counter, and I was just in the front waiting to cash out. And one of the employees said, "We're not. Why aren't we able to? Why aren't clients able to access their Google Drive?" And the on-site manager for FedEx had said, "Well, it's prohibited. They're just not accessing. There's been a cut for people who are trying to access Google Drive." Their Google Drive to print up services, print up documents, or whatever they've got to do. So that's interesting. It appears there's a two-way. If there is an opening, then there is access both ways. It's a back door. So with FedEx happening to happen to prohibit Google Drive access, FedEx Office is a safe enterprise to work with. I mean, just that I can do my work here in San Francisco and not have a bank account. It's been pivotal. Okay. So one of the interesting things that I had been encountering is I've been working with the energy. So here, today's energy, January 29th, 2021, it is the resonant moon 20, the year of the blue lunar storm. And the signature for the energy that's experienced today is Kin 46, white resonant, a world bridger. I channel in order to equalize, inspiring opportunity. I seal the store of death. With the resonant tone of attunement, I am guided by the power of endlessness. And just a bit of a share. This morning I actually woke up a bit late. It was just before 10 o'clock this morning, and it's unusual that I would be out of bed so late. But I was in bed and I was trying to remember this dream that I had. It was basically, let's see, in the suburbs. It could have, what it reminded me of being is being back in Los Angeles. And we have the suburbs that I grew up in, San Fernando Valley. And my stepdad, he was there, and he, let's see, My stepdad was there. My mom was there. She passed away on July 2nd, 2019. And my son was there. And my son was like 5 years old. He was just a little kid, but at this point, he is now 23. So my mom was doing yard work, and Alex was helping, just sort of doing his kid thing. And let's see, there was a pile of garden debris that needed to be collected. So I went. Um, wow, I went from the house we were at to my stepdad's house, um, and let's see. I went to fetch him, and we were walking along the sidewalk, and I said to him, um, let's see. No, he said to me, he said, I forgot my towel and my lawn chair. That's one of the things that he and I would do is we would sit in the front yard of his house there in Iowa, and we would just watch people go by. But let's see, as we were walking along, we saw my mom, and she had raked up all the garden debris into a pile. And so my stepdad came and he came and picked it up, while I had gone back to his house to pick up the lawn chair and carry it to the corner house where my mom and Alex was working on. And let's see. And then after I put the chair down, I had gone to the back to grab a beach towel. It was a yellow beach towel. And I brought it back with the intention of laying the beach towel next to the lawn chair. So this dream reminds me that I need to write a letter to my stepdad. So I'm going to do that. It's really important to remember your dreams because there are hints and clues for the progress of what's happening. So when I think about this, it's like, okay, so I'm still moving stuff around and putting things into place. There's still cleanup happening. Okay, that's the how things are happening on an energetic level. Okay. So with this, it is this energy signature that comes through on the day, each day. This is actually a decoder to these energy signatures. And it's fun to play with and see how things, how people interact with each other, how teams are created. What I'd realized with all my astrology work, studies, and applications, let's see, the book of life are the yang forms, and then the non-book of life are the yin forms. And what I have found is that there are many I want to say there are many that I interact with who happen to be of this blue wisdom, and my best guess is they are the dragons. And many of them are born during the non-book of life days. So it's curious. I had left that co-housing situation in Japantown, and I'm working here in exchange for room and board. And the I wouldn't say the friend who is here happens to also be born the year of the dragon. So I'll have to take a look, but in a dream that I had on December 21st, where there was actually like a reptilian, and his, I'm going to say the dragon's reptilian skin color was like a green blue, more blue than green. And I have to take a look at, let's see, my friends, my hosts' eyes to see if they match. Wouldn't that be something, that what I saw in this shading of the reptilian in my dream is the same color as my host's eyes? So it's quite a special time. I just wanted to let everybody know. Okay. All right, so that is done. I did hear back from the Oklahoma County Clerk, and let's see. The Oklahoma County Clerk had sent me this letter. It's a return notice. Please return this page with your filing. The Oklahoma Clerk does not redact names from documents. So what they have been doing, as I check online, is they're just doing that first sheet. They're just doing that first sheet on the, and if I have security agreements on the back pages, they leave those off, and it's just this first page that goes on. So we're going to do a series of videos where I'll be showing, actually, let me take a little pause here. Pause recording. So I will have a series of videos that I will be working on and uploading. And let's see what we have here. It will be how to add collateral. And there is specific wording, which is kind of that bottom part there, which I will put on a PDF, and I'll try to make it tighter, just to remove any redundancies. And then one would be able to add collateral on an entity that happens to be pursuing one. Okay. I actually have a pile of debtors to add to my next recording, so I'm working on that. So that's redaction. The big thing that Oklahoma had gotten back to me on is that, let's see, the Oklahoma County Clerk cannot file a UCC with an out-of-country address. So I'm trying to come up with a remedy on that, and it didn't include, it specifically pointed out the address that goes into the form here, where the secured party is. So my best guess, I'm going to do a video on that, but my best guess is that one would basically be sending it to this address in my name, and I will, and that address ought to be in the, let's see, number 7C mailing address. Okay, the name will go for the applicant, but it ought to be that this U.S. address would be used. Okay, and then one would include a self-addressed stamped envelope, and then I could forward it to that man or woman. Okay, the applicant. So that's where I've actually gotten back the. I've gotten back the applications for Roy Mac, his sons, and also a contact in Latvia. It'll probably, okay, I need to also get in touch with the one from the Netherlands. So I will take care of that. I gotta take care of that. Okay, next news. Yeah. So Back in December, no, it was actually earlier this month, back in early January, I was coming down to the wire in terms of where am I supposed to go that's safe. The real president, he flipped California. Can you imagine that? Well, what's in California? Hello, we're here. So I'm sorry, but that isn't confirmed. I just got to confirm. So let's see. I was trying to figure out where am I supposed to go, and that was about January 10th or so. So I did some free writing for an answer, searching for an answer. And I'm going to read this. San Francisco County, January 13th, 2021. Today, I asked my higher selves if we were to stay in San Francisco County. I first arrived on October 5th, 1993, after traveling across North America by Amtrak. I'll have to check the astrology. Saturn may have been transiting, and true, it was. Saturn structures our lives. That's why I have been in contact with so many Saturn healers on every step of the way that I've been moving across the country. As I was walking along Taylor Street from downtown to Russian Hill in 1993, I explored the city, and Russian Hill had always appealed to me. I searched for addresses like 2028 Taylor, which is my mom's birthday, December 28th, and Revelations address like Revelations 2221 Taylor. And what I really enjoyed is out of all the addresses, I didn't go further down on Taylor, but I like 2221 Taylor because it's got the anyway. Then I turned left on Green Street to search for the Russian embassy. 2790 Green Street at Baker Street. It was a long walk, and the hills were wearing me down because I hadn't been grounding. The remedy to ground electrical body: try touching your right hand, and the right side of the body against a tree. There was a lot of unblocking and activation of the meridians. So ideally, it would be good to just sort of put your hand on the tree for until all the tingling stops, because then you know that the meridians are being unblocked and all the electrical buildup is being discharged. Ideally, it would be good to walk without rubber sole shoes, either leather sole or jute or barefoot. So I found the embassy by the address, and surveillance cameras were noticeable. However, the flag was not, it was not, I wouldn't say hung. The Russian flag was not noticeable. Along that area, which would be considered Presidio Heights, the Japanese flag, the Irish flag, red and white. I'm not sure which country that is for, but those flags were out and flying. So geoengineering appears to be disabled, while chemtrailing appears to be active in the western sky at sunset. I am guided to stay put because Saturn brought me back to do my thing here in San Francisco. Does that mean I'm supposed to that I'm supposed to be up and running as a private secretary in 1999 when the bankruptcy was supposed to end? So I arrived here in San Francisco October 6, 1993, and the bankruptcy was supposed to end by October of 1999. It would have been 6 years. I started listening to Winston Shrout's. Actually, I had a meeting back in late August of 2015 in Geneva when I was in Switzerland, and that was the beginning of my training from 2015 until now, 2021. That's basically 6 years. And things were not in place back in 1993 or for 1999 to take effect. Actually, John F. Kennedy Jr., there was that airplane that went down in 1999. So things are different now. And today is a special day. I just want to go back to this because the white resonant world bridger is a white wisdom chromatic, and it is the Earth family cardinal. John F. Kennedy is of this lineage, and so too is Trump. Then we have the third one who comes along. Anyway, I'll be reporting more on that. Let's see, what else have I got here? So my roommate back at the co-housing on the other side of the hill here next to Japantown, she is, let's see, when she was born in 1992, Saturn was on her, it was right on her rising sign. So what does that mean? What that means is she is being hired to do, she's part of the cleanup. She's been hired to do this. There are many individuals who are born after 1971, April 21st and after, who are here to make things, to help things flip over, right? Melania Trump is one of those. Her birthday is April 26, 1971. And let's see, self-value is the number 2. 6 is daily duties. And together it's an 8, which is all about self-empowerment. And looking at numerology is always interesting. So there is that split between those who are children and those who go, who are part of that other faction. I don't want to say faction because Melania and Trump married to create this move forward movement together, and have produced a beautiful son whose birthday is March 20th. March 20th is a special day in the Book of Revelations, Book of Life, because that's actually the address for the Oklahoma County Clerk where I do my recordings. And I'll put a link in the video description, or I'll put it somehow so people can see and read it. This happens to be a protected account. Is it viable? Feel free to try to send me a message here, okay? I will be reviewing messages when I'm online with this account, okay? Let's see. So, right, so there is that split, and Psychic Sounds by B. She was born March 14th, 1972, which puts her as part of the children. That's true. A lot of information is coming from children to help those who are on that part of that last. Actually, I think I changed that to last. Well, actually, Shana Misako last. Sorry about that. It'll look different, but it's still 144 Pele here. My first Twitter account was 14 Pele, just 14, but it's 44. Let's see. So I'm actually part of that. Here in California, my Saturn is on the cusp of the 9th and the 10th house. I work for the heavens, if you couldn't tell already. And people born with this oriental skin suit here in North America during this time before April 20th, 1971, they're part of that collective that's part of the cleanup crew. 19 is slaughter, 71 is destruction. So I slaughter and create destruction. It's part of my structure, of my Saturn, basically. Is that true? Is that a safe thing to put out there? We shall see. Anyway, I have a few freebies. Let's see if I've got one and anything else here to share. Okay. I grew up with Holly Hobbie. Although it's time for us to part, actually, I'll probably get something like this. So, I have a few giveaways. So, let's see. Is it relevant? It's something I spent a lot of time on to create. It's an original. Yeah. It is, if you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll put an address in the video description, or actually I'm going to put all that information over in this other channel, or excuse me, this one. I will put the information on the video in the video description on this channel. While here, I'm just going to upload under HR 193, parentheses 2017. Okay, and just put in the timetable, planets and days and elements. Let's see if we can see that. Can we see that? Yeah, put planets, days, and elements. And to the first one, I will send this original piece of artwork. I'm not going to, if anybody was inclined. Anyway, I kept a lot of little, I want to say, pieces of paper that I thought was helpful, and this is actually just coming up. Okay, so here, These are, this is the weather forecast for postal codes in the United States, as well as long-range weather predictions and weather history. And this was on the Old Farmer's Almanac, regional forecast weather regions. So what is interesting here is when we know Chinese, or I want to say Oriental elements, basically the earth is what generates metal, and the United States of America is a metal, born a metal element. It's part of its astrology, and that'll be another video that I'll share. But what I did want to share is here in California, Texas, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. If you take a look at where the fire is, fire basically controls the metal element. And here we can see it's fire. Fire! Does fire control metal? Because I'm born 1971, which is metal, and I am devoted and loyal to what makes America great. When I had thought that I was supposed to travel to the Southern Hemisphere, I hadn't realized the correlation between my going and only seeing that I would live to 2023. When I decided to disassociate from what is in the Pacific, U.S. Command Pacific region, my life got long. It got very long. And I'm supposed to stay here in California and do my thing because the time has arrived. So, yeah, you know where to find me, and I hope we can connect again. Smo Love True, out for now.